think somebody a nerd.
No, yeah.
Practicing jujitsu for 3 years, he'll put you in a whole chicken wing,
Yeah.
telling you to relax. I don't got my glasses on. Is that THC fucking shampoo? What y'all doing over here, bro? What's going on?
Nice.
You want to pan the camera to that? See what they got going. See what they got going.
My name is Jack, and I'm 24 years old. In high school, I had a pair of clippers at the house, and I picked them up and I called one of my homies and I messed them up. Growing up, the barbershop, it was a huge part of my life. Huge. My pops, he's an army guy, so he would cut my hair. And then when I got old enough to be like, nah, I don't want you to cut my hair no more, he took me to Hair Gallery, Hair Gallery is cool for regular haircuts, but then you go and you try to get like a fade or you want texture or something, you know, you got to go to a barbershop. And so as I got a little bit older, my dad started taking me to a barbershop here in town. And I was in college. I was on scholarship to play football. And I just didn't like being a broke college student. My parents were like, before you come home, you're going to have a plan. Like, you're not going to just come home and be a bum. I said, what can I do that they won't drug test me?
Do you have any advice to anybody who is wanting to do the same profession? What would you say?
To go do it in another city because there's too many barbers here. Nah, I mean, do it, but do your research first because a lot of people come over here like, I'm gonna be my own boss, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna not have to do a drug test, and then you come over here and you gotta be a owner, you gotta be, I gotta call clients, I gotta take clients, I gotta do advertising, you gotta promote yourself. So do your research. It's not, I don't want to do nothing. I just want quick money. There's no quick money at all, man, at all.
So today we're doing my client's beard, as he requested. Requested a beard trim and a lineup.
How long have you been a barber?
Me, this is my 8th year as a barber now. I honestly always found an interest in cutting hair. When I was probably 10 years old, it was my mom's rusty scissors in the restroom, and I would just start going with it. I'm like, this looks nice. And then I would go with my cousin who would actually cut hair. She's like, what did you do to yourself? I would always mess up my own hair and my cousin's hair, and then I would get shit from my aunts. Oh, stop cutting my son's hair and all this and that. But now they get free haircuts because they got messed up over the years. You meet a lot of good people, a lot of important people, and you just make connections. I always tell clients take the day off to come get your haircut so you can relax, you know. Some people are like, oh, I'm here on my lunch break, let me get it real quick.
Nah, man.
No, come enjoy the haircut.
I'm already out for the day and getting ready for the night.
You see? And I always say that sometimes too when I'm like, dang, all I needed was a haircut.
And where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
I really want to be a firefighter. That's going to be my end career. But still cutting hair at the same time. I got to teach my son, my daughter, so they got to continue the trade as well. If anyone wants to become a barber, honestly, it's not that hard. You know, just commit yourself, and you got to have a passion for it, obviously. If not, you're just going to see it as a job. But yeah. Yes.
Since they opened, been getting my haircut with Rob way before he opened up his own shop. Been following him. Known Rob almost, more than half my life, so. Started off in, barber school. Walked in, I was already running late. I mean, next thing you know, first thing Rob tells me is like, hey man, these guys are saying is like, man, I'd hate to cut that guy's hair because of the way I look. And Rob was just like, man, you guys don't even know this guy. As soon as he told me that when I sat down, it was just nothing but laughs.
Gave his cousin a really terrible mohawk when we were in high school. Because, like, I mean, mohawk down the middle, right? It was, like, off to the side.
So, Rob, you started off in barber school, or were you cutting hair before that?
I wasn't cutting hair before.
So you decided to go to barber school.
Yeah. I remember 2 of the student instructors that were there have gone on to make their own schools. Fred at Next Top Barber and Tony at Immaculate Barber School or something like that.
Yeah, we caught up with Fred the other day.
He's good people. I like that guy. I don't think that barbering came easy to me, but it with time, you get a lot of what you put into it, and I put a lot of effort into it. I put a lot of my time into it, and pretty much completely changed my career. Because I was working for an oil field company, and like I worked in the office. I wasn't out there like in the field or nothing, but I worked in the office, and I was just done. It was easy to get real complacent, but after that, I was like, you know what, I gotta do my thing. What I've seen is that because there's so many barber schools, there's a lot of like students coming in, but they'll finish and they get licensed, and they don't necessarily want to make that jump. Like if you can expand and you can get out of here, get out of here. Or if you want to do your own thing, just know that you got to put a lot of effort into it, and and you got to stay current, and you can't be like, oh, I don't know how to do this haircut, or I don't know how to do that haircut. You got to put yourself out there and use social media, all that stuff that they tell us to do now. It's the same thing I would advise them to do.
What do you think has helped you over the years to get your name out there and expand?
Having a great team behind me. Eric's been here since the beginning. Eric and Miguel have been here since the beginning. Jack's been here maybe like 3.5 years, and we're going on our 5th year, So like, I have an excellent team, and all these guys have supported me, and we all help each other out, and we learn from each other. Being next to Eric has made me a much better barber from when I started, because I heard him talking about he's been cutting it for 8 years, and I've been doing it for going on 6 years, and I've just seen him, the way he is with kids, the way he, his blends, everything that he does it really well. So being next to him, next to Lori, and from the whole team, I've learned a lot. So it's definitely a group effort. Definitely a group effort.
Barbering goes way back, right? So barbering went away like in the early 80s, maybe late 70s, because people started growing their hair. I go back to Guns N' Roses, all those artists, right? So this barbers started disappearing. Then 2000 came, and fades came in. Because before, I remember my friends in high school would get a rubber band, put it around their head to get that line super straight. And I was like, there was no fade. So then in 2000, when Daddy Yankee came out, I was like, I want that haircut. So I went to beauty school here in Laredo, and just found that I really loved it and I have a passion for it. Honestly, it's something that I love to do. Just seeing the person's face once we turn to the mirror and smile, that's just amazing. That's my feel. But I did have uterine cancer.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, I remember that.
And I'm thankful for God for that. I've been in remission since then. That changed my life. So I was like, I gotta think different. I gotta think about me in the future if I stop, at one point cutting hair. What's gonna happen? So I'm gonna open up a school. I wasn't able to open up the school because I got the opportunity to work for the district. Back in 2019, right before COVID, I got the call, hey, go apply. They're gonna open up the barber program at Nixon High School. I was like, what? And for some reason, I know it was God's call because, you know, going through all these emotional roller coasters and then something beautiful like that, like getting that offer to teach other kids your craft. The first year I was there, I was nominated for the Golden Apple Award. And that was, to me, kept me going. So I made sure that every year I was gonna get 100% barber's license. And again, going back to that, there's my product. You know, I have a couple other students up here, and that's just what keeps me going. It keeps me going. To anybody who wants to become a barber, that find yourself a good school that's really gonna teach you foundation, especially theory. If you don't know, you can be the best fader, you can be the best hair cutter, but if you don't know what haircut goes with each face shape, or you don't know the different parts of the head, then that's going to be very difficult. And I just say that education is key. So that's the only way you can separate yourself from any other barber or hair cutter. That you're licensed and you know exactly what to give the clients.
What's up, guys? My name is Fred De Anda. I am born and raised here in Laredo from the south side. I've been a barber pretty much since I was in high school. I've tried leaving barbering multiple times, but it's brought me back. When I was 16, I had cut my cousin's hair. At the time, there was like the comb over look. It was just very popular, the little line and comb over. So I'm at the mall, they asked my cousin, hey, who cut your hair, dude? This guy. Really, you cut hair, yada yada. They asked me for my information. Long story short, they gave me an opportunity when I was really, really young. The way I got my barbershop was a whole nother story. I basically got lucky with a storage unit, like Storage Wars, kind of. My mom was also the one that pushed me into like actually opening up our doors and helping me like go look for suites, and because I would work out of town in the oil fields, the support is real. Like if you count your neighbors, you count your family, your friends that have been there. I feel a lot of love from the team members, even people that don't work for us anymore, people that opened up their own shops, people that left us. I feel like there's still a lot of love in between. I don't see the industry as haircuts. I see my industry as barbers, as people. If you don't open a barber school, you're never gonna be a millionaire as just a barber. I just kind of realized, well, you know, I need to make the bread for the bread factory or something like that, and we need to have a continuation of barbers coming in, and more importantly, if I can grab them from the start and teach them to the point where I like it, where I'm comfortable sending my customers, then I think it's a win-win situation, you know. And then you start actually realizing, hey, well, then once you get financial aid, then, you know, it's a very secure business. I feel like God really wants me here, focusing on the people. And through barbering is where I've learned that my problems are honestly this big compared to like some customers that are walking in with a big smile on their face. I would cut this customer every week. I was going through like a breakup and I thought my world was ending. Customer comes and tells me, hey Fred, this is gonna be the last time I see you, dude. I'm gonna die in like a week or two. And I'm like, about 2 weeks later, the kid walks in with his mom that I had never met. She comes in, she's like, yeah, he passed away. He had like a terminal cancer. What? If you're a barber long enough, you'll start realizing that your problems are like this small compared to a lot of people's. Yeah, that's the love of barbering, I guess. Where it's the people. For me, it's the people. I'm an only child, so I guess maybe I'm like looking for friends or looking for, you know, brotherhood, etc. And I really think like God also put me in this career path because of that. Because I always felt like I was alone, you know. As a barber, I feel like I have so many. My customers, I don't consider them customers. I consider them friends, you know. Just be quiet, dog. I do think a lot of people don't know about like that whole history of barbering, how they were surgeons and the colors of the barber pole. That, you know, if you guys want to learn something, white stands for bandages, the blue is for veins, and the red is for blood. I think it's an industry where you can really find yourself no matter what it is. Like, you want to be an entrepreneur, you don't want to be, you want to live life easy, you have kids, you want to work part-time, you don't want to, it's just so flexible. Tip your barbers.